The best putters in the world get 4 things right when they make putts: a perfect setup, a perfect stroke, a perfect speed, and a perfect direction. Seymour's patented and proven rifle scope technology putting system helps golfers improve all 4 areas. Here's how. First, get in a comfortable posture. Square the face to the target line using the putter's alignment line. Then hide the red dot. Doing these 3 things will set you up in an optimal stance, square to the putter, square to the target line, and with your head, shoulders, hips, and hands in alignment. Now you're locked onto the target, like radar, free to putt with confidence the same way every time. Take your game to the next level by becoming a great putter with a Seymour.
Okay, Andy, so here's your video today. So the golf swing on the left is the first swing, and swing on the right is the second. But we're going to talked about hands ahead, weight ahead, and as far as an impact position. You swing the golf club on a big circle, right? And that lowest point of the swing arc is right there in the middle of your stance. Mm-hmm. So hands ahead, weight ahead of the center point, just like Lydia Ko here. That's going to give you good solid contact and solid hits. So I think the hands get ahead, or try to get ahead, but because the weight is not moving laterally from right to left, is where you're standing, where you're getting in some trouble. So there is the pressure trace. You see that you get to the top of your backswing, and you got 80, 70%, 78% on the right, and the trace happens. You get it shifted, but not fully all the way. Mm-hmm. All right. So we did a couple drills. Wanted to show you the golf swing on the left is address. The golf swing on the right is impact. So as you swing the golf club from the top of your backswing down into impact, there's not much rotation or movement there in your golf swing. So it's making your hands break down and flip to square the golf club. If you're hitting a lot of golf balls or your timing's right, you play well that day. You go out 3 days later, timing's off, and you're up the creek. The cure-all drill for that one is the 9 o'clock or 3 o'clock drill. That'll slow down your hands, activate your hips, and make your hands, club face, a little bit more quieter through the impact area. The final drill, here's before and after. We did the reach drill. So we put a golf ball very close to your left heel on the picture on the video on the right, right? And now you can just see, if you look at body, you can definitely see, right? Because you're reaching forward, okay? Right? We can show you Rory McIlroy. Right? Positions are really good, okay? Right? And this, right, gets us this trace here. Right, there's 50-50, and your hands are right about there, not even at the 9 o'clock position. Right, much better. I don't use this chart that much, but this is the velocity chart. So your velocity chart, at the top there is a 400. I'm not sure what CMs mean. You probably know that.
Centimeters.
Yeah, right. Who knows, right? I still have to get more trained better on it. However, the white blip here is the change in direction as you go through, and it's very good, right? So you're going up, right? So there's the backswing, and bang. That change in direction spiked, right? And I guess it measures out at 400. You're 321. It's much better. right, as opposed to 147.
Okay.
Right? This is the first one, right, where you're not shifting. You do spike it. I mean, it does shift, but as far as where you're going to get the velocity and the change in direction, there's there's where where the old coaches says put your rear end to it, or put your ass into it. That's how we can start to measure that. All right. Sometimes I've seen guys just get like a medicine ball, right? If I put a medicine ball in your hand and swung it, you would definitely start to shift the weight quicker with your body rather than feeling that motion. So that should help you out a little bit. All right.
Rory McIlroy is only 5'9", 161 pounds. But in the U.S. Open, he bombed his drives an average of over 310 yards. Our question is, how does a golfer Rory's size get so much length off the tee? The key to generating distance is what's called the kinetic chain, drawing energy from the ground up through the legs, through the torso, into the arms, and into the club. And in the middle of that kinetic chain is a critical link, the hips. And it's Rory's extraordinary hip action that caught the eye of Dr. Greg Rose. At the Titleist Performance Institute, Dr. Rose has worked with many of the world's best golfers, including Rory, using technology to analyze aspects of the golf swing that are difficult to see with the naked eye.
Rory's got that beautiful tempo, but as he comes through impact, all of a sudden something very different happens, which makes a lot of us sports science guys look at this and go, wow, what's going on there? If we look at hip speed, most amateurs are around 300 to 350 degrees per second. That's how fast they're rotating. Most tour players are around 550 degrees. Rory gets to this amazing 720 degrees per second on the downswing.
What's truly remarkable about Rory's hip acceleration is that it has another gear, reverse.
So if I'm looking at anatomy, you got to understand your abdominals, they run diagonally. Those are called your oblique abdominals. They start on your rib cage and they run down to your pelvis. So imagine it's like a rubber band attached to either side, and as that rubber band is contracting, it's going to grab both sides and pull them closer together. So in Rory's case, those abdominals fire so hard, it actually takes his lower body and it actually spins in the opposite direction. Right there, it's actually moving 377 degrees per second the opposite direction, which is just crazy.
In other words, for a split second, Rory's hips actually move backward faster than most golfers ever move their hips forward. This reverse rotation is extremely rare. Out of the hundreds of pros he's analyzed, Dr. Rose has only seen it a handful of times. And while it isn't the key to Rory's length, it's an amazing indicator of the intense torque Rory uses to generate ball speeds of over 175 miles per hour, among the fastest in the world. Of course, Rory McIlroy didn't win the U.S. Open just by being long off the tee. His ball striking helped him set the Open record, hitting an amazing 62 out of 72 greens in regulation. For ESPN Sports Science, I'm John Brinkus.
Well, the most important thing in a golf swing to me is the movement of the lower body from the top of the swing. And if you don't mind, I'll demonstrate. First off, you start down below with your knees and your hips. At the top of the swing, you move the lower part of your body, not your shoulders, the lower part of your body, letting your arms and hands follow, bringing you into position to hit. But this is the first movement there. Then you release at the bottom. Most people do it entirely opposite. They rotate their shoulders first instead of their lower body. As a result, they come across the ball and hit the outside of the ball instead of the back of it. If you don't mind, I'll hit a ball, and the first thing to watch is what starts first from the top of the swing.